Here's an unhealthy topic. Why the hell have real estate transactions been exactly the same structure for the past 100 years plus? You got a house, you pay the mortgage, you build it up, you build up your equity, all to turn around, try to make some money, and then give away 6% or whatever the hell that equity is. Why? I spent 20 years in that business, and I can tell you, if I were to sell my house today, I probably wouldn't do or waste the money or time on 90% of the shit that's out there. There's little things here and there that do help, but in today's day and age, in the technology age, you don't need a book anymore. Back in the 90s, they had a book that was printed out. You'd read through it, strike off the ones after calling them to see which ones were still available, find the ones that are still available, go look at it, and then hopefully by next week you get to see a new list that changes if you missed out on something that you've just seen. That isn't today's day anymore. Today's day and age, everybody can get in touch with anybody at any time all over the world in a second. With that kind of technology, you could literally sell anything to anybody at any given moment if you get it in front of the right people. So let's take a $400,000 house, for example, damn near the average of where we're at in Brevard County. 6% is $24,000. That's typically, you're going to pay for the buyer's side, which I get it. That's perfectly fine. You got to dangle that carrot at the end of the day if you're selling your house. You want people to come bring that offer, and taking care of the other side of the transaction is a full-time job. As for the listing agent, they'll snap a few photos. Maybe they'll do it themselves. Maybe they'll spend a few $100s on a photographer, do a few video walkthroughs talking about, look at me. Maybe that gets the right attention. Maybe it doesn't. If it does get the right attention, buyer's agent's putting together the contract. They're just looking at it, guiding you through it. And if that offer knocks your socks off, guess what? You sign the papers, you're done. From there, it's the buyer's agent getting an inspector. It's the buyer's lender ordering an appraisal. It's the listing agent should be servicing that appraisal. Barely never happens though. So basically, after about 30 to 45 days, you have a listing agent who hired a photographer to take pictures, hired a sign guy to pop a sign in your yard, took a peek at a contract that another agent put together and spent their time writing up, asked you if you liked it. You said yay or nay, change these. Next thing you know, they have an inspection done by somebody else, appraisal done by somebody else, closing done by somebody else. Boom. There's 3% right there. So back to the $400,000, that's $12,000 paid for, in some cases, maybe a couple hours of your time. They'll spend more time at the listing appointment trying to get your business than they will actually working for your business. If I'm selling my house this day and age, I'm counting every shekel and I'm looking at everything I sell as an investment. From an investor's point of view, what can I do to maximize my profits on my hard-earned money and my work, and let alone my time, because time is money at the end of the day. So with that being said, why pay just a blanket number? And what's never really talked about, let's say you hire that agent, they're a great person, they're a great guy, you give them the 3%, which is half of the 6%. It's all good and dandy, but it don't go to them. Hell, most of these guys, half of the money goes to their broker. Half of these brokers pay franchise fees. Basically, you're just feeding the big conglomerate world. Me personally, I like shopping locally because I like helping local businesses, local people. I do not like to feed a corporate machine. And unfortunately, in the real estate world, a lot of sellers that hire agents think that's what they're doing. They think they're going with somebody local. They think they're, helping out a friend. When realistically, they're helping out the corporate more than they're helping out the friend at the end of the day. So to wrap up, if I was selling my house, again, you're going to have to dangle that carrot. You need to put out, you need to dangle the carrot for somebody to bring you offers, but I would probably pick and choose the services that I would need to sell my house. Just a thought. 20 years in the business, just a thought. Go back to kicking the shit out of this week. Peace.